Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Soul Care Live. I am your host, Tracy Reddy. I am a therapist turned dating consultant, helping to create space for single Black women to heal their relationship trauma so that y'all can reach your relationship goals. Because, baby, listen, sometimes you can't do it by yourself. Sometimes you need some help, honey. And I am here to provide that. Today, we are talking about a topic that is so relevant and prevalent. And I thought there was no better person to whose story I want to include in this topic of forgiveness than one of my well, we call them ready women. So let me tell you the story behind this. So when someone completes one of my programs, they essentially graduate to become an alumni of the program, and we call them ready women. They are ready, honey. They are ready for love and dating and romance and all the things because they have done the work. They have done that strong internal preparation work. Okay, and so we call them ready women. So I wanted to include Simone's story today in our discussion about forgiveness because her experience is was really like beautiful, y'all. I mean, I cried. Like I have a lot of ladies that I worked with and walked them through this forgiveness phase of the Soul Detox program, and hers was just so beautiful. So stay tuned. We are going to get to that in just a second. I want to encourage you guys. Just a few little, get a little few little housekeeping, little announcements, honey. First one being, first of all, thank you for being here. I would love for y'all to comment in the chat and let me know where you're tuning in from. And man, what made you want to come and listen to this particular episode about forgiveness? Is there somebody or something that you need to, forgive? Tell us in the comments. Also, I want to invite you guys to join me on Instagram and child the TikToks, honey. They done got me over here on the TikToks. Doing 1 minute 1 minute dating tips is what I'm doing on the reels on Instagram and TikTok. So if you are on there, go join Soul Care for Single Black Women, TikTok and Instagram, and you can stay up to date on those. You will see there already, I think, 10 tips that have been posted. Because, honey, I was trying to do one every day of the new year, but honey, I got off, honey. It ain't that I don't have the videos. I just ain't been posting, honey. We've been busy, honey. But anyway, so y'all go join over there. What else? I had some more over here on the announcements. Praise the Lord. Let's see here. Uh-huh. Okay, that's it. That was the only announcement. Just to ask y'all to go over and join the 1 minute dating tips that are on TikTok and Instagram. So without any further ado, hey, let's see who we got over here in the comments. We got Dallas and Dallas Freeman from Arizona. Thank you so much for tuning in. Who else is here? I see y'all the numbers coming up. Praise the Lord. Look what he doing. Y'all go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know that you're here and where you're watching from, and what was your motivation for tuning in to this episode about forgiveness. Is there something, somebody, some situation you need to forgive? Leave it in the comments. We would love to hear about it. So, in jumping right into this topic, like I said, this is a really hot topic. It actually, I forgot that was the topic today, and I was on Facebook, and this young lady posted on one of the groups that I'm in. She posted something about forgiveness, and I just got on there and I was just doing my things, talking, telling them about forgiveness. And later on, I looked, I said, "My God, I forgot. That's what we're talking about today." So I'm really excited to share with y'all. Let's see. So is it Salitha? Is free. Uh-huh. And she's from California. Francine is here. Hey. I see some of the OGs coming back. Okay. Since we, got our little stuff together over here on the YouTube and Facebook again. Let's see. She's showing support from Michigan. And Shanika is here from Atlanta. Yes, honey, she is a ready woman. And she said the forgiveness part of Soul Detox helped her. Tell it, girl. Tell it, honey. Tell it in them comments. We're going to share it. Praise the Lord. Uh-huh. So yes, ladies, it's a real thing, honey. We do that work in the Soul Detox. But we'll get to that in a minute, honey. We'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, so the young lady was sitting there talking about forgiveness, and I just like straight up forgot that was what the topic was today. So we're gonna jump right in here, okay? And again, I'm going to be sharing some of Simone's story. Like I said, her story of forgiveness was so impactful, so powerful, and the things that like came from it, it was just amazing. So I can't wait to share. All right, so there are 3 points, okay, that I want to bring up as it pertains to forgiveness. Now, a lot, because it's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of unhealthy things that people think and believe about forgiveness. Okay. And if you haven't already, share this, honey. Share this broadcast somewhere to somebody, somehow tag somebody, honey. Go ahead and let somebody know that Soul Care is live, honey. Y'all go ahead and share that now. But yes, so forgiveness, there's a lot of misconceptions about it, a lot of things that people are out here saying. I've even seen people saying that they're going to hold on to it. There's this whole debate about can you forgive and forget, all those different things. Listen, that that I won't even get into all that. I'm gonna get to the meat and to the juiciness of what we're gonna talk about today. I'm gonna give you three tips to move yourself forward in the forgiveness process. No matter what or who it is that you need to forgive, you can walk away. If you can apply these 3 things, then forgiveness will be potentially easier for you. And if it's not, girl, you come holler at me. We're gonna talk about it and work on through it. Now, number one, forgiveness is as I said, FUBU. It is for you and it is by you. Okay, it's a solo sport. Mhm. You don't need to talk to him. You don't need to go see what she said. You don't need to get permission from anybody to forgive. You don't need to have all these conversations to forgive. Now, granted, I'm a fan of a hard conversation. I love me a good hard conversation. But for forgiveness to happen, you don't have to talk to that person. You don't need anything from that person to in order to process forgiveness. And I think a lot of people get held up there because they're like, I'm not ready to face her. I'm not ready to face him. I'm not ready to face that situation again. I'm not ready to live back through that. Um, or talk to those people. Well, you won't believe what they did to me. You don't need them. You don't need them to get your forgiveness done. Like I said, the forgiveness is for you and it's by you. It is for you to process for your own good. We've heard this. I know I have heard this, I guess you could say, I don't even know what the right word, I don't know what the right word is, but I've heard this little saying over the years, that not forgiving is like drinking poison and wanting the other person to die. I mean, that's a great analogy. But like I said, I think the thing that I want to drive home even more so than that is that it is truly for you, by you. You don't need them to have forgiveness, period, and point blank. And if anybody done told you anything else, that's not right. Now, granted, if you can have a conversation with them, if you can sit down and have a mature dialogue about what happened, that's fine. And guess what? You don't need them to say, "Well, I apologize," or I'm sorry." You don't need that from them either. You can process that I'm sorry without getting those words actually from them. And so, in the Soul Detox program, we walk through it's a whole, like Shanika said, I'm put that back up here. It's a whole section devoted to forgiveness. It's a whole process to walk you through. And so, they are optional. The other person is optional. You can walk in forgiveness by yourself without their input. Okay. Number two, because child, we trying to keep this under 30 minutes. Okay, we're gonna do that today. We've been going an hour and a half, however long the conversation go, but we're gonna try to keep this under 30 minutes. All right, forgiveness. Number two, forgiveness is not equivalent to reconciliation. Okay, forgiveness is not equivalent to reconciliation. I think a lot of times we think if you forgive them, if you let it go, then somehow your guard come down, the floodgates are open, and everybody is just welcome to come in and cross all your boundaries. No, you don't. You can forgive them and not have to have another thing to do with them ever again. Now, we know a lot of us know that already. Are y'all sharing this? Because y'all need to share. Go and share it somewhere with somebody somehow. But yeah, it's not reconciliation is not automatic. It's not a given. Okay. Reconciliation is a separate process. That is a team sport. So you can sit up there and forgive your ex for what he did, forgive that friend for how she betrayed you, forgive your mom, your dad, your whomever, and and still not reconcile with them, still not, still keep distance between you and them. However, if you do want to preserve the relationship, or if it's one of those situations where you're not going to not be around that person, you can practice reconciliation. But that's going to take the two of you coming together. Don't be sitting there having no fault or no out against a person, and then just think because you somewhere in the back of your mind forgave them, oh, we're good now. Whenever I want to have interaction with them, everything's fine. No, if you have not sat down and defined your boundaries and explained to them, okay, here's the terms and conditions of what we're doing. Here's how we're gonna interact with each other. Y'all got to sit down and negotiate that. That's a negotiation, honey. That is a negotiation. Reconciliation is negotiation. Y'all gonna write that down. Reconciliation is a negotiation between two or more parties on how we gonna interact with each other. So forgiveness does not automatically mean that. Forgiveness is a separate solo project, while reconciliation is a team sport, because it's going to be more than just you deciding you back going to be friends with them. It's going to take two of you to come together and do that. That's if you do want to reconcile. And that process, that negotiation could take a long time, because what ends up happening, what's so funny is, like, once you've been dealing with somebody in a certain way, it seems like sometimes that when you start dealing, even if it's been years, you start dealing with each other again, and y'all just go back into the same pattern. That's what you try to avoid. That's what you're going to have to avoid, unless you're going to have another falling out, that is going to produce a need for another forgiveness process. And then, whether you go ahead and do the reconciliation or not. So yeah, that's why it's important. If you have somebody who you've had some kind of fault against or whatever, it's going to be necessary for you to go through a actual reconciliation process, conversation, whatever. Okay. And bonus, that's for you too. If you done offended somebody and you know that you need to do some work there, and go and ask for forgiveness, you can do that too. You can give somebody else that um that freedom, that peace in their spirit. You can give them that. You can gift them that, even though they don't need you to process their forgiveness. If you can sit here right now and think, man, I kind of messed up. I kind of did that wrong. I kind of did wrong by them. You can just reach out and say, hey, so and so, I you know what, I apologize. And that does something for your soul too. That does something to help you as well. This is not something that that just has to be you working on forgiving people. You can offer forgiveness. You can offer apologies. I mean, so that another person can move forward in their process. And again, I'm going to share Simone's story, and everything I'm mentioning shows up in her story. Okay. Number 3, there is an abundance of joy and happiness on the other side of forgiveness. Look, a lot of y'all think that you being all strong and mighty by, holding on to being easily offended. Oh, y'all, I'm so sick and tired of right now, where the world is just offended by everything. There is no conversations, there is no grace, there is no understanding. It's just blinders on, and people are just so harsh and critical of each other, and it's so disheartening, because we ain't gonna survive like that. That's not sustainable. But that's such is the world we live in. And so but you want to hold on to all that stuff. The people who be the most offended be seeming like the most unhappy folks. But I tell you what, when you learn how to process forgiveness and be quick to settle those offenses, whether that be with a conversation or without. Like, remember, it's a solo sport. You don't need nobody else to forgive them. When you can settle those offenses quickly, you can just live in so much joy, so much peace. It's a lot to carry offense. It is a heavy burden to carry. And then you get mad at everybody because it feel like they're continuously adding on to it. Look, people out here peopling, honey. People are out here peopling, and people gone people. Okay. And part of people and part of people peopling is them offending people, because you just ain't gonna everybody just ain't gonna be signing on to everything you want to do. And so again, the sooner you can grasp the forgiveness process, the better, the more joy and happiness that you can feel, like genuinely. People out here saying, "Oh, I'm so at peace, I'm so happy," and they just running from all their issues that they ain't dealt with, And you can tell because when something does pop out, they at 100, and that's just all that old unsettled offense that's just sitting down in there, honey. They need to do that work, honey. They need to do that work. Uh huh. Uh huh. So anyway, I'm saying all this to say, like I said from the jump, that I want to share Simone's story. I wish she was here, but she, a part of, obviously, like I was saying earlier, a part of the Soul Detox program. And honey, I'm gonna share that little link with y'all too. So if you so choose, you can go on over there and sign up for yourself a consultation, so that we can, if you got somebody or something you need to forgive and deal with or work through, if you're a single woman, honey, just go over there to tracyready.com, and I'll be more than happy to do a consultation with you so that you can get into the program and you can walk through the full process. Again, it is a full process. It's not a one-time thing. It's not a just, I meant to say this earlier. It's not a let it go ceremony. It's not that. Although there is some ceremonial things to it. And I'm gonna tell you more about hers in just a second. But it is a process. I hate when I hear people equate forgiveness with, yeah, just let it go. You ain't no letting it go. Ain't no letting it go. It just be sitting right there under the surface the whole time. So there is no letting it go. Okay, you have to deal with it. And what I'm talking about when I say forgiveness, I'm talking about the process of forgiveness, not, girl, just let it go. Somebody tell you that, they're not emotionally intelligent. They're not emotionally intelligent. They're not telling you the full story, because you can try to let it go, sex it away. Look, Solange told y'all, I tried to fill in the blank it away, and you can't just sex it away, drink it away, party it away, let it go. You can't do that. You're gonna have to go through it. You have to go through the process of it, and then it'll be done for good, and you can repeat it for future offenses. Okay, so all that to say, that my favorite part is to tell the ready woman's story. Again, um, uh, Simone is she started the program maybe about, well, I think about the spring of last year. She started the Soul Detox program the spring of last year, and she signed up. She came to it with her own assortment of disappointments from relationships, even things that happened family wise and things like that. And she said I could share her story, so don't be thinking, oh, she just out here telling you about business. I don't tell you that much, honey. I just tell you enough so you know what I'm talking about. But she came to it with all of these things that these baggage, as we all have. And so she got to the point of forgiveness, and there's a whole lot of other steps that you take before you get to this in the program. So she got to that point of the forgiveness part, and she even says, and I'm hoping that she'll be able to join us on a future episode, because I want to get all the ready women, all the alumni together to come and just share and talk and answer questions, and just let y'all know what it's like to go through the process. But she gets to that part of it, and she was a little hesitant because she's like, what is this gonna do? So like I said, there is a ceremonial piece in it. First she had to figure out who it is that she wanted to forgive, and then she goes through the processes and steps that we do in the program. But then there's this, like I said, ceremonial piece, and she ended up going out to this little wooded area in her town, wherever it is. And she said she took some rocks with her. And a part of her taking those rocks, the rocks were symbolizing each person that had offended her. And so, I encourage the ladies to do whatever after they go through the process of forgiveness. This is kind of the end of the process. I encourage them all to do something symbolic to represent, having gone through the process. And so her chosen thing was to go with these rocks to the woods. And y'all, she said there was this when she got out there was this clearing area where it's like the sun was just shining. It was a beautiful day or whatever. And then as she's like, she didn't know what to do really. So she just started praying. And the way God showed up for her, she started to get, I don't know, inspired or instruction or whatever on what to do. And she started literally just releasing all her energy, and her anger and frustration, everything. And if I'm not mistaken, she ended up throwing the rocks out because she said God spoke to her and told her he didn't want her to even take any of the stuff back with her when she left this area. She could tell it better than I can, honey. So y'all stay tuned because I'm gonna have her on here. But she said right when she reached a certain point in like the release of it all, it just started pouring down rain. It started pouring down rain. And I mean, it was nice outside. If I'm not mistaken, I'm telling the story right. If I'm not mistaken, it was beautiful outside. And then all of a sudden, when she released it all, the rain just came and washed over her. And it was almost like a confirmation that she was doing the right thing, that she was on the right path of releasing it all. Again, releasing it and letting it go is different. Okay. And so she did that work to release it, honey. And she said she left there feeling so free, so light. Because when you carrying this, so her symbol, the thing she used to symbolize was rocks, and she put them in a bag. She said, God told her even leave the bag there. Don't take none of it back with her. Don't take none of it back to her, back to her car with her. And she did. Yeah, chat, listen, it just encouraged my soul the way the Lord showed up for her. Now, I don't frequently talk about on this show or even on any of my platforms the fact that I'm a Christian, and that I ain't talking about I ain't I'm for real a Christian, not the new versions of it that they get. So I don't talk about that a whole lot, but when it comes up, it comes up. And the point of the truth of the matter is God showed up for her. God showed up for her big time and freed her. So now, what's the end result? She went through the rest of the program, girl. Because that's just what, girl, it's 10 phases in this program in the Soul Detox. That's like phase number. Shanika, is it 6 or 7? I think it's 6. I think it's 6. But so she went through the rest of the parts of the program, and now she is in a happy, healthy relationship. She messaged me and was like, Tracy, this is about the healthiest relationship I have ever been in my life. Honey, when you do that work, forgiveness is just one piece of it. When you do that work, honey, things happen. So check this out. Another part of her doing the work was, like I said, sometimes you got to go back and right your wrongs. She said she lost count. What should Nika say? She said, tell it. Thank you, honey. Thank you for your support. And then she said, I lost count. All of it is good. All the soul detox good, honey. All of it is good, good, good. So, okay, so she go through this process, right? And then another part of the process is for her to go and have some hard conversations with people she wants to. What I say about step number 2, people she want to reconcile with. So she did that. Y'all, one of the stories it changed the way when you are healing, y'all, that it's like a ripple effect to everything and everybody around you. When you do your healing work, if you do it authentically, it ripple effects to everybody around you. So she goes to have her hard conversations and do these reconciliation conversations, and so she goes to speak to someone who leads this program or something that she's in, not a program but something she does at church, I think. And she said she got to talking to the man, and she knew she needed to ask for forgiveness because she had been acting like, a little brat. She had been acting a mess under this person's leadership. And so she went and she apologized, and she was like, listen, I apologize. I made things harder for you because I was hurting, and I was this and I was that, and dot dot dot. And so she having this conversation with him, and he was like, wow, I don't think anybody's ever done this. And so he then says, I need to go do some things. And how did I contribute perhaps to you getting that way? So it opened up this dialogue between the two of them. She was able to share what he did that was offensive to her, in addition to apologizing for what she did. And man, when I tell you, she said he literally has said he's now going to go, everybody who's under him in this particular ministry or whatever, he's going to set up meetings with them to see if he has in unintentionally offended them, and how he, in his leadership style, it just never occurred to him to check in with his people like that. And so my point is, she then went out there and handled her stuff and processed her stuff, then, and being authentic in her journey caused somebody else to be authentic in their journey. Who knows where else that went? You know what I'm saying? Who knows what else that opened up? Who knows what healing that brought to somebody else? I promise you, didn't look like Nick, y'all. We up here at the hotel, right? I done seen this little boy get out that car every day. And I said, I'm gonna ask my husband. Anyway, honey, and that look just like Nick, y'all. That look like him. He's from a distance, but that look like Nick. Anyway, so but yeah, so when you start living in that authentic healing process, it just opens up opportunity for other people to do the same. And then who knows? That man could have the next meeting with somebody else, and then they said, "Oh wow, this was great. Thank you for coming to me. Thank you for acknowledging this. Let me go talk to my mama. Let me go talk to my brother." And I've heard other stories of ladies who've gone through this, and it caused a ripple effect even in their family. And that wasn't the only one. She had several stories of people who she shared her she went to apologize to them or have a hard conversation with them, and it opened up a bigger dialogue about them needing to go do something similar. So all I'm saying is, like I said, just to recap, forgiveness is for you, by you. It's a solo sport. Forgiveness is not the equivalent of reconciliation. That's a team sport. You're going to have to come back to the table and talk about what it would look like for us to connect and be connected again. And then there's abundance of joy and happiness, and even ripple effects, for lack of better words, when you forgive. Okay. Now, I want to open the floor up to y'all over here in these comments. And do y'all have anything, any questions, any thoughts about forgiveness, anything that you want to add to the dialogue, any testimony that you have about having process forgiveness of your own? I would love to highlight and share here. We got a few minutes before we reach 30 minutes, honey. Yeah, we got exactly 3 minutes, honey. So I'm gonna leave it open for now. But in the meantime, in between time, I want to share with you guys, as I've alluded to a little bit in this video. If you do in fact know, okay, not only do I need to process forgiveness, I need to process a lot of stuff. Honey, I invite you to get on over there to tracyready.com, or even better, I'm gonna share another link with y'all. Let's see. Let me see. Soul Detox .net. That is the program that Shanika went through. That's the program that Simone went through, and all the other ready women who are now out here living their best life, honey. That's what they all went through. Most of them went through there. Some went through my other program, but I'm not really pushing that program just at the moment because, honey, your girl is busy out here. It's a wonder that I was able to get on here today. But but yeah, souldetox.net. That is where you can go to schedule a consultation, and we could talk about how you're gonna move forward in your process, honey. So going on over there, it's gonna be this beautiful little screen. Y'all want me to show it to y'all? I'll show it to y'all. Hold on. I'm gonna show y'all the screen so you know exactly where to go. Praise the Lord. Hold on. Let's see. Y'all probably knew that I was a Christian because I be saying praise the Lord all the time. But anyway, like I said, I don't be talking about that much because everybody don't know thing with the whole God thing like that. And that's all right. That's all right, honey. Love you anyway. It's all right. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. And I'll be like, I'll be want to impose nothing on anybody. Girl, I can't even open this screen up, and we about to be at our time. I can't even open this screen up. It's saying it don't want to open it up. Let's see. I'm gonna try one more time. You can open it up if you want to. Oh my Lord. Oh no, no, it's got a whole bunch of steps for me to follow. Anyway, you go to souldetox.net or tracyred.com, and there's a spot on there that says start your soul care journey today. Or schedule a consultation. Click there and you can schedule a complimentary consultation, and we can talk about the specifics of your situation and see if you're a good fit for this program. See if you're a good fit for the program. I would love to speak with you. My calendar has some openings for next week, I do believe. So yeah, go ahead, get on there, grab you a slot, and we will see how we're gonna move this train forward. Again, it has been amazing talking to you guys about forgiveness. Again, just to recap for y'all who just came in, forgiveness is FUBU, for you, by you. It's a solo sport. You don't need no help forgiving. Okay, you need like a process, but you don't need that other person who offended you to forgive. Okay. Number two, forgiveness is not equivalent to reconciliation. That's a team sport. Y'all got to come together and decide and negotiate what it's going to look like to be cool again. And number three, there is an abundance of joy and freedom and happiness that comes for you and everybody around you when you forgive. Okay. All right. So Those of you who know that you need to work on some stuff, who know you need some support or a structured process. I saw a young lady today online. She was saying that she was going through something terrible, on the brink of a divorce with her husband. And, she was like, can y'all help me? I need to get through it. And yes, you can do a lot on your own, but something about having it, sometimes when life feels chaotic like that, as she was explaining, sometimes you need some structure to just, okay, let me walk one step at a time. I don't need to know the process. I just trust that the process is going to work out. That's what soul detox is. It's a process for you to walk through to process your pain, you know, and you don't have to know all the details. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just walk, just walk, just walk, one step after the other. Just walk, walk, walk. And that's what the program is. So go over there, souldetox.net or tracyradio.com. Either one you want to go to is going to both take to the same place. And you schedule your consultation, and I'll be happy to talk to you about your participation in the program, if it's a good fit, and you can see if it's a good fit for you as well. All right, you guys, we are at 30 minutes. We're just a minute past 30 minutes, and I am going to cut this off now. But I do want y'all to know it is a pleasure to come and speak with y'all. We will be back. We're in this Soul Detox series. We'll be back next week highlighting another ready woman's journey. And if you miss this, if you're just now tuning in, or if you're, whatever the case may be, go ahead and watch it from the beginning, honey, because the replay is going to be up. All right. I will talk to you guys later, and you have a wonderful weekend and a very, very blessed day. Bye bye.